WWF Empire Live.
It's the best thing going today.
The best insight and analysis on the hottest topics in the world of wrestling happens here. From storylines and news to rumors and reviews, we've got the action covered from bell to bell. Presented by PWFEmpire.com with your hosts, Charlie Feast, Evan Medina, and J-Dub.
Do I have everybody's attention now?
The match starts now.
PWF Empire is live tonight following WWE Payback to deliver our post-show review. We would love it if you guys go ahead and join in on the fun in any way that you can interact with PWF Empire Live. It is much appreciated. Whether you do that in the chat, on YouTube, on the post on PWFEmpire.com, or on Twitter with the hashtag PWFEmpire. Whatever way that you see fit, the conversation continues on and off air. I'm Jay, and I'm joined on the hosting panel tonight by Charlie.
I'm very sorry, Jay, because, for those who don't know, I went to Philly this week, went to the ROH shows. I went and got myself a nice Young Bucks shirt. I tried to get Jay one, but the lady said they were just too over and that this was the only one they had left. So I'm very sorry I couldn't retrieve your Young Bucks shirt for you. So
anyone who actually watched PWF Empire Anarchy, you know that that's not much of an issue for me. So
just too over, they said. They're just too over.
I guess that'll be something that I have to deal with. And we also have Evan.
Hello.
What's up? So let's go ahead and get this show started. Once again, we will be covering WWE Payback tonight, and you're more than welcome to let us know what you thought about the show. We're about to go ahead and start doing that right now, and we're going to get to the first match of the night. This match was Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus, and Sheamus walks away with the victory here after a bro kick to a very bloody Dolph Ziggler. I took my eye off the screen for a second, and I looked back, and it looked as if Ziggler had been... No, that's another story. But it looked as if Ziggler had been mauled by a friggin' bear or something like that. Like, there was seriously a whole hell of a lot of blood, and I was like, wow. But yeah, Sheamus, he gets the win here.
We skipped over R-Truth and Stardust, man.
And the problem with that is...
I don't know. I'm sure somebody watched it.
Yeah, anyway. Their parents.
Okay. I'm sure Dusty was watching it while he was writing the NXT show for Wednesday. But, anywho, this match was good. It was kind of short. I hated the ass-kissing stuff. But, hey, we got blood, so 5 stars. And overall, just a solid opener. Did its job, and Sheamus looked pretty dominant after the visual of the bro kick on the bloody Ziggler was pretty. I don't even know how to describe it. It was awesome, but like not in the way of like I marked out for it. Like it looked vicious, and that was really cool. So overall, very solid opener. Did its job well.
Yep, I second you on all that. I mean, this was a really good way to kick off the show. I think this match was placed in the perfect spot considering the way that the feud had been going. I figured either Neville and Barrett or Sheamus and Ziggler should kick off the show, and I think Sheamus and Ziggler kicking it off is absolutely fine, gets the crowd into it well, and definitely did so in all honesty, and I think it was a really good match, and the blood doesn't hurt, but just makes Sheamus look that much more badass, and I think that's definitely something that they weren't even counting on, and it ended up happening.
Okay, so I'm about to say something that I don't really say often, but one of my sayings is criticize when necessary, but give credit where credit is due. I have to give credit to WWE's commentary team because they did a really nice job of actually doing their jobs and selling the narrative of this match. And the narrative of the match was Sheamus was using...
rear ends?
Not that part.
That was the whole narrative, though.
No, when the action was going on, not that action, the ass to face rubbing action. I mean, when they were actually in there and they were wrestling each other, you had Sheamus using his strength to attack Dolph Ziggler's biggest strength, which was his speed, and you had the announcers actually talking about that at ringside, and I thought that was cool once you hear what they said and them defining the story of the match and seeing that play out with the wrestlers. Like, that's exactly what announcers are supposed to do, and they did their jobs effectively there.
And then 30 seconds later, they were discussing Michael Cole's preferred term for your ass, and whether it was arse or rear end.
No, I think it was 30 seconds before. So they redeemed themselves. Like
and then they went right back to it. And they just talked the whole match about Sheamus getting his face rubbed in Ziggler's ass.
Okay, let's go ahead and mention that now, since it seems as if Charlie, he really wants to talk about this part.
You're just lying to the people. I'm not going to have you lie to the people.
No, it was a point of the match, and I actually think that that was an effective part of the match as well, because we all saw how everything turned out at Extreme Rules, where the stipulation of the match was, if you lost, you were supposed to kiss the arse of the other guy, and Sheamus, being his heel self, he circumvented the stipulation, and Dolph Ziggler got his get back in this match. I thought that, not that I like seeing, and I don't know why we keep mentioning this, not that
Do
I
you
like seeing... No, but I'm saying with the story that was told, it made sense, and I liked the advancement of the story.
See, for me, this was a good match, but at the end of the day, after a week of seeing some great wrestling, I got bitch slapped right back into sports entertainment with this match. It was like, went from some great wrestling to boom, ass storylines. It was like, oh yeah, this is WWE again. Right.
I mean, but you can say that moment, it kind of enraged Sheamus and fueled him to his victory. So it worked.
Definitely did in that way. I mean, it's a weird narrative, yeah, but it is a narrative nonetheless.
Good old sports entertainment.
And then the whole blood thing, I think that, it's so weird that WWE continually gets into these situations where it's not intentional. As they said at WrestleMania, it wasn't intentional, but it played into the story so well. I think it played into the story here too, because the moment came where Ziggler headbutted Sheamus, and then Ziggler started to look disoriented and just completely out of his mind, and Sheamus capitalized off of that moment to lead himself to victory. And I think that with us visually seeing that blood, we knew that something went wrong for Ziggler, and it all played together so well that it's hard to believe that it actually was not intentional.
What made you think that? The fact that Brock and Dolph just rammed their heads into objects to force themselves to bleed? Did that give you an indication?
I mean, the thing is, when we say, the intentional thing, of course, we're talking about, slicing the shit open, but I guess it happens the other way, too. The real way, but I guess I'm such a wrestling fan. The only way somebody can bleed from their head is if they fucking slice it open.
Because I don't know how unintentional it was. They just had to tell themselves, I'm just going to bash my head into a metal object and some other dude's head. That's all you got to do. You want blood? You just got to ram your head into stuff.
Yeah, and then follow it up with a beautiful super kick right to the chin, and there we go. I mean, I thought there was some nice near falls in this match too. So I don't know. I thought the match was actually pretty damn enjoyable in terms of just straight up in-ring content.
Yes, I would agree with that. And now we move on to the second match of the night. This was a 2 out of 3 falls match for the WWE Tag Team Championship. The champions going in were New Day, and at the end of the day, New Day are still the Tag Team Champions. They won the final 2 falls in this match over Cesaro and Tyson Kidd. And it's so funny because so much of what we talked about on last week's show came into play on this in the actual match. I talked about me wanting to see the members of New Day switch out the active competitors in the ring, and then they teased it when New Day lost the first fall, but then Natalya jumped up and she put a stop to it, and I was like, sit your ass down, hater. Let them do what they're doing. But I'm so glad
Let me be right.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they actually didn't do it. I'm glad that I was wrong, because then we would have missed out on the awesomeness that was Xavier Woods at ringside talking a whole bunch of crap. That was one of the highlights of the match.
Xavier Woods is in a very tight race with J&J Security for Wrestler of the Year. They're pretty much where we are right now. They are without them, WWE would be so much worse. They are so good.
Yeah, he definitely turns up the campiness for entertainment value.
Especially
so great.
Especially when he was like saying about to Natalya, like, or to Tyson Kidd, like, "Oh, your wife hates you," and I was like, man, this is just great stuff right here.
Apparently, Xavier Woods watches Total Divas too, so
I guess so. He's a very, very smart man, PhD. You know, we know he's going for the big guns here.
Okay, let's talk about this actual match, though. I have 2 words to describe this match.
Fucking awesome.
Holy shit. Fucking awesome, that works too, but my 2 words, holy shit. Like, these 2 teams perfectly exemplify what tag team wrestling should be in WWE. I don't know how to put it in any other terms than that. Like, the way that they play off their double team moves with such crispness and how they're completely in tune as if they're working with one mind, I think it's so amazing, and I loved every single bit of this match.
Yeah, these teams need to have a match on every show that WWE does till WWE doesn't exist anymore. That's basically where we're at.
I think I'd be cool with that.
This was so great. This was fantastic. A lot of fun. Guys flying all over the place. Good spots. Crowd was into it. Just everything worked, everything clicked, and for me, this was in the race for match of the night. We'll see how it really got there, but you know, at the end of this match was going to be tough to beat. This set a bar really high.
I'm gonna say for myself, I'll bargain this as match of the night. I really did enjoy this one.
We gotta save that. You can't say officially yet. We gotta say that match of the night.
God. Oh man.
You blew it.
I want to say this is a match of the night then. All right, we'll have it. I forgot we got to go the official way, but I'll still say it's still the match of the night. But anyway, it was great. It was really great, and I love the way that they did the 3 falls. I thought it was perfectly executed. I think that there were some really good near falls in there. Multiple times, I'm like, oh shit, Kidd and Cesaro are going to win the belts back, and you know, I mean, there was several moments of that throughout, and this was as good of tag team wrestling as you could expect. Jay put it the best. I don't have anything else to add because it was just awesomeness.
Yeah, and the fuck finish was great because that means the feud will continue. And this feud...
that's something we totally forgot. Yeah, the actual finish of the match.
Wrestler of the year, man. Wrestler of the year.
And we talked about this on last week's show. Anybody that watched PWF Empire Live's preview of Payback, you would have heard Evan bring up the fact that Michael Cole does not know the difference between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston on the show, and that actually played into the ending of the friggin' match.
It's unbelievable.
Woods jumps into the ring while Kofi was the legal man, but he was incapacitated on the outside, and he just gets the roll up, and the ref counts it, and that's it.
Yeah, they got similar hair, you know.
It was so great too because he throws off his vest to get in the ring, and then he counts the pin, and they show Kofi on the outside, and they come back, and Xavier's running back around the ring with his vest back on. Like, he put the vest back on and ran back around the ring like, yeah, Kofi. Oh my god, it was so great.
Yes, that was so awesome, and like Charlie said, you know, the screwy finish, it guarantees that we will get another match from these 2 teams,
and in an elimination chamber coming up too. We got a tag team. I'm hoping they do the old New Day versus Cesaro Kid versus Lucha Dragons elimination chamber. That would be fantastic.
I think that would be too much to bear. Like those 2, because we see what just the breakneck speed that they operate at. Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, and also the New Day, and then we've seen
we're all going
what
to be
Lucha
glasses
Dragons
after
are.
that.
Yeah, we've seen what Lucha Dragons are capable of down in NXT, and throwing them into that mix, and then putting them all in an elimination chamber. Like, what is this?
Talk about worthwhile, man! Wow,
too much awesomeness, and for free on the WWE Network.
Like, you get NXT this coming Wednesday, and then that in a couple of Sundays, and I mean that's more than worth $0.
Literally a couple Sundays.
Or $9.99 for it's good enough for $9.99.
It really is. I mean, $9.99 to see all that good stuff would.
I'm not insulted by paying. I'm a little annoyed, but I'm insulted.
For sure.
Next up, we are going to discuss Ryback versus Bray Wyatt. There wasn't much interest in
and after that, we had the United States Championship match that we're going to discuss.
No. We got to talk about this match because there wasn't much interest in seeing it going into the show, but it was up to them to make us want to see the match and get us invested in the action. So the question is, did they actually do that? Bray Wyatt gets a win here, and Charlie, did they get you invested in the match?
It was good. It was what it needed to be. It was kind of short. They went out there, they threw each other around, punched each other in the head a few times, some hard hitting stuff. It was pretty physical, short, physical, to the point. Bray gets the win in a fuck finish, which I fear that they're going to run this into the ground and that these guys only have so much they can really do in matches. And, they're going to run it to the point that by the time they get to the payoff match, like, they're going to have exhausted every spot they have, and it's just going to be not good. But hopefully they can work it out and keep it going. Still not really into the feud. I still don't get the feud. It's just a bunch of people who, Bray Wyatt wants to eat the world. Ryback wants to eat Bray Wyatt, and, can we just get these people some food and just settle it?
Just sounds like a bunch of indigestion as far as I'm concerned.
It just sounds like can we they're on the WWE main roster. Can we feed these people, please? Like, so we can.
I heard that the budget cuts affected catering though, so.
Touche. So
ever since Heath Slater got RKO'd through it too.
Yeah, but Charlie, are you sure that they've exhausted everything that they could possibly do?
Not yet.
There were some things. Yeah, because there were some things in this match that I didn't think that they were capable of, and they actually did. For example, Ryback from the top rope doing a frog splash. I was like, well, what the hell is this?
Yeah, I don't think they've done it yet, but I worry that these guys only have so much, and I fear that they're going to just drag this out.
Like they have a limited ceiling.
I hope they don't push this the John Cena and Rusev feud kind of got, where by the time we get to this point, it was like, oh my god, can we just get over this? It was enjoyable tonight. Hopefully they can get the feud rolling a little bit better and just get a payoff and just move on. You know what I mean? Don't push this too far because there's a shelf life.
How about that rib crushing senton, huh?
Oh my god, that was when the match really picked up for me. I felt Ryback's pain in that.
Yeah, you heard him, you could audibly hear him cough because he was so lost his breath right there. I was like, man,
I've noticed about that move too, Bray Wyatt hits that on the money nearly every single time that he does it. I've seen other people in the past, when they do that move, they'll kind of just fall back and just make sure their upper back hits the person, but Bray Wyatt falls on them square in the friggin' middle of his back, in the middle of their midsection, and that's full impact. It looks like it hurts, and I'm damn sure that it actually does hurt too.
For sure, yeah, definitely. And I agree. I think this match definitely was better than I was expecting, because I know, in the preview show we were talking about how it's that match that we're gonna be okay, not that tuned into, but honestly I enjoyed it a lot more than I was expecting to, so that's a nice thing. So I think it was solid, and Wyatt going over is more than okay. I think Ryback played the babyface role extremely well here, and honestly, that little promo that Ryback had actually wasn't too bad, or interview, wasn't too bad. So overall, I thought this was pretty enjoyable and definitely better than I was expecting. So that's always a good thing.
Yeah, I thought that this match was a whole hell of a lot better than what I was expecting, because I was so turned off by the feud going into it that I didn't have any expectations at all for the match. I didn't even want to talk about it on last week's show. So going into it, I was like, entertain me. Let's see what you got. And they pulled a lot out of the bag.
And they were like, are you not entertained?
And I was like, I am. I was very entertained by what they were pulling off in this match. And as Jonah tweeted out on Twitter using the hashtag PWF Empire, that's how you book a big guy match. These were two heavyweights going in there, and they were slugging it out. It was not pretty. It was very ugly at times, hard-hitting action, and I don't think that you can ask for too much more when you have two big heavyweights going in that ring like Bray Wyatt and Ryback. And hell, they gave you more than you could ask for with things like a frog splash from the top rope. That still, I was like, wow, he actually did that. So I say, your objective was to win me over, Ryback and Bray Wyatt. You did exactly that. So let's keep this show rolling to the next match that we will be discussing here. John Cena versus Rusev.
And the match after that was, what do we get, the Divas match after that? So
we got to talk about this one too.
We got an NXT preview to do.
And just so you guys know, Lana, she didn't throw in the towel. She figuratively threw in the towel for Rusev when John
Which is
Cena
annoying
had
because
him.
Eden said you had to literally say "I quit." That's what she announced at the beginning. You had to literally say it. So this figurative translation bullshit is annoying.
You know what? I understand what happened because if you remember at the beginning of the match, Rusev said, "I quit." He said, "John Cena better." He said something like, "John Cena better say I quit." So it just took the referee a while to remember. And that's what Lana was yelling. She was like, "Ref, he said I quit like 15 minutes ago. Like, why is this match still going on?"
It was actually like 30 minutes before, but...
And Kyoto was like, "Oh shit, he did. Okay, it's over. Call it."
So Kyoto didn't have to ask once, even though he asked about 900 times in a half hour.
Oh, and that annoys me so much. It's like you could slap somebody. Do you quit? Do you quit? Get the fuck out of my face. God, like, do you think I'm that much of a punk? I got slapped and you're asking me if am I that soft? S-A-W-F-T?
Like, you don't do that in a regular match. Like, somebody takes a right hand and you're like, "You want me to stop it?" Like, get away. Like, oh my god. Like, I tweeted out, like, why don't you just have John Cena let you know? Like, why don't you John Cena go, "All right, Kyoto, come
Don't call me, we'll call you.
Yeah, because I'm getting tired of you. Like, and Mike Kyoto probably hates that too. He's probably like they're in his ear, like, ask him. And he's like, "I don't want to though. Like, I'm sure it's annoying people."
I can see them. I can see them being back there, like, "Ask him, damn it!" I mean, but come on,
Cena, "Do you quit?" And Cena's laying there, "No."
I hate that little monotone response that he gives. Like,
hell no.
Do you quit, Cena? No. Like, speak
Never.
up a little bit.
Never in a million years.
Oh, and so this match was
I guess
alright.
this why WWE movies aren't in theaters anymore.
Didn't you just love the Alabama slam that was like, "Oh, I'm gonna lay you down on this table," and then that was
a little funny spot in there.
Oh my god, I couldn't help but laugh out loud when that happened. I'm like, yeah, just Alabama lay you down on the table. And
that wasn't an Alabama slam. That was an Alabama letdown.
Yeah.
There was also, did you see the fallaway slam where, like, he threw him back and, like, Cena just literally went, like, there was no fallaway to it. He just kind of, like, stayed in the air and just landed. I was like, oh, that didn't go well. But at the end of the day, I thought this match was just okay. There was an annoying part in the match where Cena was completely passed out and they're, like, going off about how, like, this can't end the match. And I was just blown away because I was like, so to put this in perspective, you're supposed to beat your opponent till he says "I quit," but you can't beat him too badly because if he passes out and can't talk, you can't win. So you have to beat him a little bit below the worst beating ever. Or you could kill the man and the match would just never end because nobody could say "I quit." Like you would have to.
That shows restraint.
Well, there was the one
a good talent to have.
There was one part where I think it was Lawler who was like, "What happens if he passes out?" I'm like, the best I Quit match in the history of wrestling had that kind of finish. So
the best match in the history of wrestling.
Yeah, honestly.
No, the best I Quit match in the history of wrestling had somebody throwing in the towel. That happened on my birthday a decade ago. You guys don't remember that? Vince versus Stephanie?
Oh.
We're both just like...
That's not fair. That was 12 years ago. Not a decade.
Almost a decade.
No, almost a decade means it's under a decade, and you're pushing it up to a decade, over a decade.
Look, this is semantics, okay?
Well, I'm not having you lie to the people. I'm tired of you lying to people. You were a liar this evening. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Be a goddamn star, Jay.
You're bullying me.
Because you're lying. You're a bad person. You deserve to be bullied.
Wow.
What is that, like an asterisk on be a star? Like, be a star unless the person is a bad person.
Well, you're not. Yeah, exactly.
Be a star unless they're not a star.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something like that.
Which is clearly John Cena's motto.
But, I mean, honestly, yeah, this whole feud was like, we all knew it was going down, so it's like, how am I supposed to sit here and be like, yes, here we go, another match. Like, you just knew what was happening. Like, it was overwhelmingly predictable as it's been all these months. And I've said that so many times, but I keep saying it because it's like the universal truth that we knew was coming.
And because people keep lying to themselves and keep thinking, no, it's going to be different this time. It's like, keep going back. Keep going back.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, okay, yeah, if you think so, all right, great, but, I mean,
Damn,
no,
they
it's
had
not.
to stage an intervention before WrestleMania with Jay. Like, Jay over there.
I never said it on air. I never said it on air.
You implied it. You said something's going. You were talking about how Cena wasn't just gonna win. You were talking about some stuff.
Yeah, he didn't just win. He won in a spectacular fashion by ending the undefeated streak of Rusev. That's how. That's what I was talking about.
Speaking of WrestleMania, why didn't Rusev bring the tank to this match? I mean, you've seen John Cena's I Quit matches. Bring out the tank. He's got to quit to that, right?
Was I the only one that actually liked this match, though?
I thought it was fine. It wasn't.
It was all right. Yeah, it was okay.
I thought it was good, and I think that they redeemed themselves from Extreme Rules, and it's kind of funny.
That's not fucking hard. It was a goddamn touch the corner match.
Yeah, this match was a whole hell of a lot more extreme than the actual match that they had at Extreme Rules. And I don't know what it was, but I felt that, like, I completely forgot that they could actually finish the match in the ring, and I forgot that they had wrestling moves, because I was seeing everything that they were doing on the outside with, like, the barricade, the old school steel barricade, and also with, like, the pyro and all of that stuff. Like, I thought the match was going to end out there, and then I was like, well, damn, they're actually moving back into the ring, and they booked the match in a way that made me forget that these guys actually had, finishers like the Accolade and the STF, and for those to be directly involved in the finish, I thought that worked out pretty well for them. So I liked the match. And with Charlie, there was an interesting tweet that you put out there about Rusev and him going on his undefeated streak and Lana, and what was that tweet?
Built up for a year as undefeated, just to lose to Cena and then be used to turn your valet babyface. Sucks to be you. Like, that's all he's being used for now.
So I guess we'll see what happens with Rusev and Lana going forward.
Because I guess part of the problem with the whole, like, translation thing that they're going to do is that throwing in the towel or, like, her quitting and then, him not giving up would have made her seem like an idiot. And because she's turning face, they don't want her to seem like an idiot. So I guess on some level they had to have Rusev legitimately quit in Bulgarian and then have her translated or some stupid bullshit. Like, something. Because what I would have done is I would have had to throw the towel, and then as the referee's calling for the bell, Rusev kind of breaks out, and there's a whole clusterfuck argument there. And because regardless, people are going to side with the hot blonde over the angry Bulgarian. That's just the way things are going to go. So, I would have done something like that, but they made sure that they didn't want to make Lana look like the idiot in the situation. So that's fine. I have no idea where Rusev's going from here. So he's going to feud with Lana, which will mean God knows what.
Hopefully another match with Jack Swagger.
That's the go-to right there.
Yeah, right?
Next up, we have Naomi and Tamina versus the Bella Twins, Nikki and Brie. Naomi and Tamina, they walk away with the victory here after Naomi snatches the Divas champion by her hair down from the top rope, slams her to the mat, and that's the way that the match ends.
They might as well just held up a sign, everybody watch NXT this Wednesday. Like,
this was one of those situations, because the WWE commentators, they love to distract people during matches and talk about other stuff that's going on. If they had spent this entire match talking about Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, I'd been perfectly fine with that, because that's my review of this match. I cannot wait until TakeOver.
Yeah, I tweeted out, like, I hate when they do this stupid bullshit finish that, like, the only reason it was the finish is because it's a girl and it's supposed to hurt more. Like, that does not help the cause at all. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but since Give Divas a Chance happened, 3 pay-per-views, 2 tag matches, 1 title defense. So,
And by the way, Vince, we're still watching. I remember that tweet that you sent out with Give Divas a Chance, keep watching. We're still watching.
Yeah.
Like, I know, and kudos to you guys for giving Charlotte and Sasha Banks the main event in that live show that you all did in Philly.
And you guys are a bunch of assholes for not announcing that goddamn sooner, because I would have fucking gone, but then that's beside the point.
Absolutely amazing advancement, but I'm not saying that it has to go that far. We need some type of advancement. Carve them out a nice piece on the card, and I don't feel as if they're at that point right now when all you have is somebody snatched down from the rope, not even a freaking move, but I guess knowing Naomi's finisher, I shouldn't be happy that the match ended in that way.
She kicked out of that, so you goddamn
that's
ass
the
to
one
the
positive
face.
that I have to say.
I'm sorry, there were 2 matches built around ass to the face on this goddamn show. I'm tired of Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, and Naomi's ass going to people's faces and that becoming moves, and god damn it.
And we already know that like half the point of this tag match here was mainly to just give the Bellas a loss without taking the title off of Nikki. So
oh my god, and Naomi's beat the fucking champion for like the 900th time, and she's never won the belt still, which is goddamn irritating.
120 more days. 120 more days.
Like, and then Paige is gonna come back, and they might do a 3-way or something. So
probably something like that.
As long as Nikki keeps the championship for 120 more days, 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months. That's all I need.
I don't know. Watch her lose it like the day before.
No.
the day before, Jay, and then you get 1 day short. Just 1 day short.
I'm gonna find on the calendar the 120th day.
Just circle it and be like, all right, here we go.
But yeah, Nikki, I keep repeating it until people actually get it through their heads. She has improved greatly in the ring, and I have to give props to Brie too, because she's improved too. I really like that new ring attire that she has. It's much better than her last one. So
sure, they just need to, not have that theme song that Brie has on her own. That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. But beside the point. Either way,
that is the least of our problems, Evan.
That is the least of our problems. I mean, I will say the team that I figured would win won. Like, I don't really have anything else to say about this. There's really nothing else to really give this match here. It's whatever. Yeah.
Like, you have big proponents of the Divas division on this show right now. All we need is something to care about.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yep.
That's all we're asking for.
Plain and simple.
As I said, once again, I cannot wait for TakeOver. Because Sasha and Becky, they're going to tear the damn house down.
See, I have a question, too. You're going to be wearing your Sasha Banks shirt. If I wear my Sasha Banks shirt inside out, does that count as a Becky Lynch shirt?
Interesting.
Because they won't fucking put one out, and it's goddamn irritating.
I don't know. Maybe if she wins, they'll have one.
They better have one anyway, because she's fucking in a title match. That's what they did for everybody else, except for her. They gave Baron Corbin a goddamn shirt.
I see Logan is saying in the chat right now, Naomi needs new shoes.
No, those things are awesome.
No, see, here's the thing. Those things are so distracting because this.
Oh,
is
they're so awesome.
They're the type of Here, listen, what I'm saying. They're distracting because you know me. Like, I'm very analytical, so I find myself sometimes watching her shoes to see if there's some type of pattern in the way that they change colors. Like, I'm like, okay, it was green before, it's blue now. Like, do they change colors when she stomps or when she does something? Like, I'm looking for a pattern. If anybody has that pattern, please let me know, because this has kept me up for endless nights, and until I get an answer, I'm not going to know what to do with myself.
Introducing the Naomi Shoe Detective.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe the 119th day is a SmackDown on September 17th.
Uh-oh.
Which will technically be a title loss on the 15th because it's taped, but that's not the point.
Uh-oh.
She can make it past SmackDown, yeah.
And she goes losing on the Raw.
And Logan is in the chat saying same right now. Like, I'm glad to see that I'm not the only weirdo out there, because I honestly think about stuff like that. But, yeah, next up we have King Barrett versus Neville. This was a singles match. Charlie, you want to go ahead and jump in here? Like, you're supposed to be like, okay, and the next match was the main event.
Yes. Because this we need to rant about. This
yes. Oh, I'm going in.
Because the other two were just kind of like, we have nothing much to say. This we have stuff to say, so we're going to talk about this goddamn atrocity.
So Neville versus Barrett. Neville actually wins the match here via count out.
He was upset about winning the match.
Wade Barrett legitimately got himself counted out. He was, well, both guys are outside of the ring.
Because there's not a vacant title to try to get a title shot for or anything.
Oh, yeah. Like, that totally is not out there. But, yeah, Wade Barrett, at count 9, he almost jumps back into the ring. But he's like, nah, screw it. This match doesn't mean anything. This match on a pay-per-view does not mean anything at all. And of course, we did get the moment where Neville hit the red arrow. He didn't hit it during the match. He hit it after the match because you got to send the crowd home happy. But
and that's why they gave you the main event.
With the cape on, he hit the red. Come on, yeah.
Very important that he utilized the cape.
They utilized the cape. The scepter broke. I mean, off the German. Oh,
this was the definition of. This is a good match with a stupid finish that I hated.
That came completely out of nowhere. See, when they do, fluky finishes and stuff like that, when, for example, take Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler last month at Extreme Rules. They didn't get the payoff for the stipulation with Sheamus losing the match, but that was smart booking. This was not smart at all.
This was Wade Barrett not caring about winning a match on pay-per-view. Neville being disappointed to win. And then Barrett starts beating him up. Then Neville makes a comeback and hits the red arrow. And I'm failing to see how this did anything for anyone. It was like, I don't get, the stupid get yourself count out gimmick is for people holding titles in non-title matches who have no reason to give a shit about the non-title match that they're in on Raw. That's the whole point of it. But when you are in a situation where you just won King of the Ring and you're trying to get a title shot or work your way to something and you're just kind of in the middle of nowhere, you want to win matches. That is the point. And so not only did Barrett not give a shit about winning and get himself counted out, he's probably going to be in the final 2 of the IC title elimination chamber. And he might win.
And that's what really pisses me off about it, because I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, if WWE wanted to give like a legit feel to something, they would look at somebody like Wade Barrett and say, okay, dude, where you think a match on a pay-per-view doesn't matter, guess what? Your ass is not going to be able to compete in the elimination chamber for the Intercontinental Championship. But of course, doing things like that, it would have to mean that WWE would look at wrestling matches as if they matter. We know at this point they don't look at them that way. Just take Monday Night Raw, for example, and just so you guys know, I'm about to go in. Here's the thing. I've been looking at the ratings for Monday Night Raw, and the ratings for the third hour of Raw suck complete ass. And booking like what happened at Payback with Wade Barrett and Neville, this is exactly why the fucking ratings for the third hour of Raw suck, because people know that there's no consequence whatsoever to the main event. How many times have we watched Monday Night Raw and we'll see a main event play out and the crowd will be sitting on their damn hands? They just did that not too long ago with, who was it? I think it was either Randy Orton and Roman Reigns or Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, and the crowd was sitting on their damn hands throughout the match because they were anticipating.
I think they did both those matches.
Well, there you go, both of them. Like, they were sitting on their friggin' hands throughout the match. Yep, it was both of them. I remember now. They were sitting on their hands because they were expecting interference. They were expecting for the match not to end cleanly, and they were expecting disqualifications. What the hell is the point of having rules if 9 times out of 10 a match is going to end in a disqualification? Like, shit, if somebody is looking at that situation logically, they're just going to say, well, if these matches are going to end in no disqualification anyway, let's just go ahead and throw the whole damn rule book out of the window. Like, why do disqualifications even exist in WWE anymore? The reason why they exist is just to get from one story point to another and not giving a fuck about matches at all. That's why people don't care to watch those matches. Anytime that you have a show where the main event segment comes in the final hour, and the final hour of the show is the lowest rated hour of the whole damn show, that's a problem. And we see booking like that nearly every single Monday on Raw, and we saw booking like that on Payback too, and I do not like it at all. The shit needs to stop.
It definitely does, and it plays into the whole reasoning behind why Raw doesn't need a third hour in the first place. But hey, it's like the third hour could work a lot better if you had more dynamic booking styles rather than just continuing to go down the same path and do the same, okay, DQ finish, someone gets over at the end of it, yup. They literally did that the entire build up to Payback. And I mean, sure, sometimes it's like, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, we're used to it now, and we're so used to it now that we end up saying which ones are good and which ones aren't good in the same type of finish to the show, which is just like crazy to think about because it happens so frequently. But anyway, about this match, it really wasn't that bad. I think these two guys have some good chemistry. They've already proven that. But, again, it's like King Barrett, King Barrett, that's the key word there. I know King of the Ring is a concept that we have discussed about how important it is and whatnot, but hey, if you want the king to look pretty kingly and impressive, then why would he, say, walk out of just stay outside the ring and say, well, I don't need this match, whatever. Like, I don't need to prove why I'm King of the Ring. I want it. That's that. I mean, it's usually a building block to get somebody more credibility, and if he's going to go toward the Intercontinental Championship, that's all well, fine, and good, but losing via countout is just flat out stupid. And then for him to be the heel and attack Neville, and then ultimately still get his ass beat with the cape on, it's still
we could prove the point to you guys that yes, this guy is King of the Ring, and he's still looking like a dumbass.
Yeah, right. Like, I mean, he still ends up on his back by the end of it. Like, it's just okay. There you go. It proves absolutely nothing for Barrett as King of the Ring, and this whole thing ended up being completely pointless. But like I said back in the preview video, Neville will probably win this match, even though Barrett really needs the win out of the two guys.
Yeah, because it's not like he's trying to position himself for anything. It's not like there's an open Intercontinental Championship there. Shit, in kayfabe terms, Barrett is probably looking at this like, okay, it's an Elimination Chamber match. 6 guys have to be in the match. WWE doesn't have that much fucking depth in the roster to go, to skip me. I don't need to be in this match. Fuck this.
Yeah, and going back to the whole, booking of these matches, there's like another line I use that nobody gets over is the kind of idea of stories over stars. And I go back to Vince when he was on Austin's podcast, and he talked about, well, if you don't have a reason to watch these two guys, in the ring, then, it doesn't matter. Well, one of the big reasons why that is the case is because you continue not to give a fuck about what goes on in the ring. Like, every Raw match is 2 minutes, and even with 2 minutes, half of them end in DQ, half of them are fuck finishes. There's no reason to care about these guys, and that is why you have to make yourself put in a situation where the only time they care is the stories, or the only time they care is when John Cena comes out and says, I'm going to challenge anybody for a title, and you pull somebody up from NXT, or you fucking have some random debut, or you have some new matchup there. You position yourself in a situation whereby you blatantly just disregard matches, and you throw Stardust and R-Truth out there every week for 3 minutes just because you got to fill time and get them on the show. That's it, and nothing ever comes out. I remember building up to Goldust versus Stardust, and Jack Swagger beats Stardust, and Stardust gets a match at WrestleMania for the title, and Jack Swagger has not been seen on TV since the fucking time, since he beat Stardust. And it's like...
And it looked like it was the start of Goldust versus Stardust at WrestleMania, but nah, we're just gonna...
And I remember looking at that IC title ladder match and being like, these guys are all losers. Like, they all lost a lot of them lost what they wanted to get and settled for the IC title. And then a number of them just lost their way into the match. And it's like, how am I supposed to care? And this is why, and this is stuff that other promotions don't face. People don't watch Ring of Honor and sit there and say, like, I don't care about this match that has, build up that I didn't see. There wasn't much build-up to Adam Cole and AJ Styles, which I saw on Tuesday, but the fact is that, those matches are treated as important, so you don't necessarily need a cheap horror movie rip-off storyline to give a crap about the match, because they treat the matches as important, and the fact that AJ Styles won means something, and, everything revolves around what goes on in the ring. So when you do kind of throwing together matches they still mean something. There's still an element to make you want to watch them. And in WWE, it's like, this match has no storyline to it, so that means whatever goes on flat out doesn't matter, no matter who wins, no matter who loses, no matter how they do so, nothing matters. And it's a huge fucking problem in this company.
Let's go ahead and get to the main event now. This was the Shield Triple Threat plus Randy Orton. And it's kind of funny that I say that because for a point in this match, it actually did turn into a Shield Triple Threat.
And it was awesome.
We will get there. Let's go ahead and do the little setup now. This was Seth Rollins defending his WWE World Heavyweight Championship versus Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. A fatal 4-way match, and these weren't the only competitors in this match. Let's go ahead and call it like it is. We had
J&J Security lost their running and wrestle of the year big time in this match.
We also had Kane involved in this match as well. A lot of stuff went down, but at the end of the day, Seth Rollins walks away as the victor by way of pedigreeing.
Oh, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
That pedigree?
Oh, wasn't it the best pedigree you've ever seen?
No, that goes to Stephanie. I'm sorry.
What?
Stephanie's pedigree was a whole hell of a lot better than Seth Rollins. And,
oh yeah.
You know, truth
no
be
question.
told, it's better than Triple H's too. But I digress.
Oh Lord. So this match was like a tale of two matches. Like, I just have to say, WWE needs to do Kane versus Seth Rollins so we can fucking end this bullshit.
Yeah, get it out of the way already. Like, we know you want to go there. Just do it. It's like when you have two people and they're flirting with each other. Like, just fucking do it already. My
Will you
God,
just
you
bang
know
and
you
get it
want
over
to.
with? Like, God. Like, it's literally that point because we talked about last month at Extreme Rules how everyone and their brother knew that the match couldn't end until Kane interfered, so nobody cared for the entire main event until Kane interfered. So this time, they said, fuck it, we gotta change that, so let's just have Kane interfere right away, so that way people will, still care about the rest of the match, because Kane's already interfered. So the match basically devolves into a friggin' seven-way, and anytime Kane got involved in the match, it was just not good. Like, at least when J&J Security gets involved, they both get RKO'd or they both get the shit kicked out of them, and it's like a little bit funny and it makes the guy look like a badass. When Kane got involved, he beat up two dudes at once by himself.
Yeah, like there's that 7 foot tall thing again. Like, he's getting in there and he's whooping ass.
Kane gets involved and lays out Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, and I am like, why? Like, why? Like, why would you do such a thing? And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, they just need to do this. Like, they just need to get this out of the way. I'm so tired of this bullshit. But as far as the good parts of the match, that Shield mini triple power bomb thing, that whole oh my God, that was great stuff. That was amazing. I jumped through my damn roof and back down to the ground. I ruined it for myself because I tweeted out that what if they triple powerbombed Randy through the announce table, and they set it up, and I was like, well, damn, I didn't actually think that was going to happen. But
like, the way that it was all playing out, I was sitting there and they were starting to converge, and I was like, oh my God. Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Is it gonna happen? Oh my God! It just happened. The triple power bomb.
I was so waiting for Kane to run in and punch Dean Ambrose and totally ruin it and just ruin the whole thing. But it was so great. Then they're all smiling and happy, and then Dean just kind of gives a straight face, and then Rollins is sitting there like the bumbling idiot that he still is, being booked like a complete fool. But it was awesome, so we'll go with it. And then I thought the whole Dean and Roman stuff was really good. I thought it was probably the best thing they've done in this whole situation of them looking at each other being like, well, we've laid everybody out, so I guess it's time. And they got in the ring and had a face-off.
And then Roman was out there like, okay, loser buys beers. Like, I love the fact that they still maintain that brotherhood that they had between them, but they were still coming to blows because at the end of the day, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is on the line, and they're like, okay, may the best man win. And how they got into the ring, they were smiling at each other outside the ring. They got into the ring and just throwing blows.
I love that. That
whole portion of the match right there, from the start of everything that happened with the Shield, their mini reunion, them turning on Seth Rollins, and then Dean and Roman getting into the ring and playing out. Like, I actually have a few clips. It's so funny because here we go. The guys, they're looking at each other like, is this motherfucker serious? They're like, does he not remember what he did to us? Then they go to playing along with him. They're smiling and laughing. And then it was at this moment where Seth Rollins knew he fucked up. That precise moment in time.
Oh, man. But my personal favorite part of the match was... first you had the whole like Superman punch thing, and Roman's like, "Stay down, Dean. I don't want to have to pull this shit out on you. I don't want to have to whoop your ass." But then goes to it. They go to the rebound. He ducks it, spear, and Rollins comes back. And when Rollins came back and broke that up, and they did that whole sequence, holy shit! So they do the thing. Rollins like kicks Dean Ambrose, and he falls back into the ropes. Gets friggin' Roman Superman punches. Rollins, and then Dean comes back from the ropes and clotheslines Roman, and I was like crying. Like, I need to see these three have a triple threat. Like, get the match with Kane out of the way so we can get him out of the way, and just give these three guys 40 minutes on a pay-per-view in a main event, please. Like, just do it. Just anywhere.
The teasing was real tonight. It was real, but it was good. It was a nice tease, and again, I know that we've had the discussion on whether or not this actually hurts that future triple threat match, or whether it actually helps it. I think this again played into helping me look forward to it that much more. That's me. Maybe it doesn't for everybody else, but I thought that was a great piece to this, and I think that that entire thing that we were just talking about was like 5-star stuff. I mean, the match overall wasn't 5-star stuff, but that piece to it was perfection as far as I'm concerned. And this was an enjoyable main event, though, overall, in my opinion.
And did you all see, too, somebody's mentioned in the chat, did you all see Roman give Jamie Noble the finger after he threw him into the not the announce table, the barricade?
I didn't see that
He
part.
whoops Mercury's ass, chucks Noble into the barricade, and just goes... he keeps walking. I was like, I was like, whoa.
Okay.
I was like, all right.
You know what, Evan?
I wish people saw it, because it would have got a good pop.
And I think I'm going to concede now. With the way that the match was booked, I don't think that this does anything at all to harm the triple threat match, because this was booked in a way that maintained the friendship between Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. And whenever we get that triple threat match, like, that is the key to it. I think there's going to be a deterioration there, and that's what's going to keep that fresh. Or maybe that'll be a deterioration. I don't know, but that is one avenue that they could travel down with that match to make it feel different than this one, and make sure it's like
each guy.
Difference.
Yeah, each guy is on his own side. No matter it's not about brotherhood anymore. This is just flat out about winning and showing that you're the best out of these three. So I look very forward to that triple threat.
That video package is going to be friggin'. I'm at the pause the network because I'm going to be like losing it from the video package.
Yeah,
yep.
And we already know how good WWE's production team is, best in the world.
Because they use Max too. We noticed in the I Quit match, but
yeah, but still the Shield, they have so much history to work off of, and me being a huge Shield fan that I am, I'm gonna be excited for the match.
They're gonna have the video package with Dean talking about from that documentary, we came in to take over the business, whether we're doing it, as a team or as singles, we're gonna do it, and they're gonna be showing all the highlights and Rollins breaking them up, and oh my god.
And again, I gotta say,
effect and stuff like that with the slowing down and seeing Dean Ambrose, that head turn there. Oh. Yeah. And that almost happened a year ago. We still have a few more weeks ago. I think Payback was actually in June last month, but yeah, we got a few more weeks
No, it wasn't.
ago.
Payback was in May.
It was in May?
Yeah, because I know, because they had I went to Money in the Bank, and then they had Battleground in the middle, and then SummerSlam was in August that we went to.
Oh no, it was June 1st.
Oh,
yeah.
So they did 2 shows in June then. What the hell was it? Oh, they did WrestleMania in April.
So what was it? The Raw after that, or the it was right?
Raw, it was June 2nd. So
yep, right.
It's a year anniversary.
Very unexpected spot, as we all know, and I mean, I gotta say, this triple threat could be one of the biggest matches that you see for a long time, because it's just got that build to it. But another thing I want to say is I think this main event, I don't think Dean Ambrose didn't look legit here. Like, again, this worked into that whole thing about why the get out of jail free thing was 100% in use, because I don't think Dean Ambrose looked out of place here, just because, like, oh, well, he's not booked to the level of the others. Like, it's not like he didn't have a shot at winning the championship here. Like, we knew he wasn't probably going to, but still, it was like Dean Ambrose felt like he belongs here, and I mean, I think that's a pretty obvious statement, but still, it's like
Shield stuff helped.
It does for sure, but I still think he definitely held his own in terms of, you know, just Dean Ambrose.
And the fact that he's over is all fuck, whether WWE wants
Sure.
to put him or
But
not,
see, the
helps
thing
too.
about that is, like, I know that it's no slight to Dean Ambrose and his stature. It's just with WWE and the way that they book him. Like, because truth be told, he didn't have any chance in this match at all. But it's like, I think that is the level that Dean Ambrose deserves to be at. I think he's talented enough to be there. That's why I think that it wasn't much of a jarring image to take hold of, but it's just that WWE, like Dean Ambrose, he's holding up his part. You got to hold up yours.
Exactly, and that's what we hope for over these next number of months. You know, again, it's like what you hope for versus what you get can be obviously two whole different things. But again, it was just nice to see him in this main event, because I think it just furthered the point that we've already been, you know, going off of, and it's that Dean Ambrose is definitely at this level, like deserves this level, is good enough for this level, and it's clear as day. So I just hope that they see the same exact thing and build him up, right? And I mean, again, I'm living in a perfect world when I'm saying all this, but hey, you never know. Maybe things can go in that right direction for once. So let's hope for the best.
Let's go ahead and bring this all to a close. What was the match of the night? What was the sour spot of the night? I guess we can go ahead and get started there.
Well, that's an easy one. The second one, we get that out of the way.
Yeah, the booking of Neville versus King Barrett. Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
I think we're all in agreement with that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
The ayes have it.
All right. Look at that teamwork, though. Like that's what, if you're going to be on this show,
teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah, so if you are going to be the guy that wins this contest and gets on this show, you better be ready for some all-out teamwork. Anyway, match of the night. I think that the match that I enjoyed the most start to finish is the tag title match, but the individual moments in the main event were so fun that it's like you almost got to give it to that. But I would say if you're looking for a start to finish match, you know, the tag title match had a severe lack of Kane, which was very good. So that's, you got a real, you know, advantage there.
See, I think I'm struggling with that exact same dilemma there. Do I go with the match that was awesome from start to finish with the action, or do I go with the one that provided me with the best moment of the night? Because without a shadow of doubt, like, best sequence of the night was everything that happened with that very, very brief Shield reunion. That was awesome. But I don't know. Which one do I give the edge to? Because it's tough. I think we can say that separately. You know, best sequence of the night was what happened in the main event with the Shield reunion, and the best match of the night was the tag team match. But just realize the awesomeness of that tag team match, that I'm even having a hard time to try to, you know, see which one outranks the other, the tag team match or the main event. So that just goes to show how great of a job that WWE did with the booking of Cesaro and Kidd versus the New Day.
Definitely. I think that
Day.
I think that the moment of the main event was definitely my favorite moment of the night. Like, it outranks the tag match overall. So the best thing to happen at Payback was that whole sequence from the main event, no question about it. But yeah, tag match was the best overall contest. I'm just preaching to the choir and saying the same damn thing, but yes, I completely agree with you guys. But yeah, that moment, no question, that was the highlight of Payback.
Okay, and do you guys want to talk about Takeover? What is the name of this? Unstoppable?
Unstoppable. Except for Sasha Banks. She's going to be stopped.
No, she's not.
Yeah,
Bow
she
down
is.
to the boss.
I'm gonna get some masking. I figured out, get some masking tape. We're gonna make that legit loser.
Okay, so you guys have any thoughts on build up to Unstoppable?
They've had some injuries, which has been a clusterfuck. They did some fancy editing. I don't know if y'all noticed that in the last episode of NXT.
That was not fancy at all. That shit was, what, hackneyed? Would that be the word?
I thought it was clever. And Sami Zayn go into an empty arena, record a line about John Cena, cut the camera to Kevin Owens, and edit in Sami's line, and do whatever you gotta do. They have the triple threat match that Tommy's apparently not gonna be in. They didn't edit any of that stuff. He is injured. I don't know how they're gonna handle that. I've heard from people, and this is stupid random reporting that that sometimes is really good, sometimes is totally bullshit. That someone's going to replace a Tommy, and it's going to be awesome. They didn't say who. They didn't want to jinx it. That's all they said. That's all Alvarez said. He said it looks like someone's going to replace a Tommy, and everyone's going to love it. So we'll just run with that. He didn't want to jinx anything, so I don't know. But that was his little report there. So you got that. The Zayn and Owens is going to happen, which I'm sure will be very good. Provided Sami Zayn.
The build up for that on the last episode of NXT, where Kevin Owens basically said he's going to beat his ass to the point where he won't come back.
Yes, so. And I liked how Zayn went after Kevin Owens' son, like, he's a Sami Zayn fan, and Kevin Owens went all like, what the fuck, and just walked out, just like, you know what, I'm going to kill you. And we'll see who's a fan of that. And we got the main event of the evening will be the NXT Women's Championship match. Whether it's the main event or not, remains to be seen. But this, for me, has been the best built-up match of the show. The whole idea of going into this has been fantastic. Becky's story is really good, and that video package is great, and Sasha Banks plays a great, arrogant bitch. So I'm expecting big things out of them. They better do some good stuff.
Yeah, the last few women's matches on the NXT specials have been the best matches of the show. So they have.
Well, we have another women's match too. We got the team of Charlotte and Bayley taking on the weirdest tag team in the history of pro wrestling in Dana Brooke and Emma.
God.
Is that not the randomest team? Dana Brooke and Emma. Like, what a squad.
Yeah, I definitely think there's some big shoes to fill for this show, which excites me because I think that all of these people are so hungry to step things up every single special that they have.
And I think it helps Payback tonight. I think some people worked their asses up.
Yeah.
Fuck you, NXT.
I bet these guys performed on level 100, because they wanted to do whatever they could. You could kind of see that in even just the tag match, because it was not just because it was so good, but I think it was even better because some of these guys just have that mindset of, well, I want to be the best match that happens this week, but the guys in NXT, it's going to be hard to outdo what they're going to do. I'm especially interested in Zayn and Owens because their first match, like we talked about when we reviewed the last special, was so damn good in terms of the story and everything that it's going to be I don't know how it's going to be possible to outdo that, but I think that they can. I really do, but I'm just so pumped for that match in particular.
All right, and I think it also needs to be said, because you all talked about stepping it up at Payback tonight, it has to be said, or at least I believe, that this is one of WWE's best shows of the year.
Yeah, probably behind WrestleMania. And there's not a whole lot to beat there, but, yeah.
Yes, I enjoyed this pay-per-view, no question.
Yeah.
And that is it for this episode of PWF Empire Live. On the next episode of PWF Empire Live, we will be going live an hour later than usual, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, for the purpose of reviewing NXT TakeOver Unstoppable, and that is what's going to kick off the next episode of PWF Empire Live. And what ends the next episode of PWF Empire Live is the departure of Charlie from PWF Empire Live. That will be his last episode of the show. So if NXT wasn't enough to entice you guys, want to watch that show?
Jay, I contest that it's called NBXT.
Yes, Charlie's final episode will be on Wednesday. And by the way,
next Wednesday.
By the way, we're not. I'm letting you guys know right now. We're not doing the whole cheesy video package and stuff like that. All the sappy stuff. What we did to serve as the farewell to Charlie and also David of Pro Wrestling Talk Radio, we did a very special episode where we combined forces. PWTR, PWF Empire Live. We came together for one final time, at least with the hosting panels that we have right now, and we presented PWF Empire Anarchy. End of an era. And this show, we talked about a lot of the backstage stuff that goes on with PWF Empire. We had a whole hell of a lot of fun. There were some pipe bombs dropped. There were some revelations made. There was a good time had. And just all in all, a lot of fun. One of the most fun things that I've done since I started this whole video thing a few years ago. And yeah, if you guys haven't checked it out, I implore you. You have to check it out. Now, not everybody is going to be interested in it. Like, if you just watch to hear us talk about wrestling, then and you're like, okay, I don't care what goes on behind the scenes. Like, you're not going to want to watch.
Somebody told me to rest in peace. I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was an agreement.
That is the most morbid way to send someone off. Like, rest in peace. Like, I mean.
Hell, he's not going to be resting after this. If anything, the intensity is being turned up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're setting me up for a feud with The Undertaker, I'll take it. But, I mean, Jesus.
But, yeah, like, if you guys aren't interested in anything that happens behind the scenes, then this isn't going to be for you. But if at any point ever you ask yourselves, I wonder what these guys are like off the air, or I wonder, if there was anything behind that, like, I guarantee you, if you've ever wondered what we're like off air, you are going to love this show.
Or if you find us entertaining, which, amazingly a lot of people do, which still blows me away. People find us but, we just go on there and just, ramble and tell stories. And if you don't really care, but if you find us entertaining, it could also be good.
Yeah, and just so you guys know, the closest that we got to actually talking about wrestling was WWE 2K15.
And find out why Jay has some disdain for the Young Bucks.
Yes.
And yes, for the person
putting it mildly.
For the person asking, Justin can finally have the CM Punk Mark gimmick.
Yeah, I guess this will come Wednesday. It's all his. So, yeah, thank you guys for tuning into this episode of PWF Empire Live. Catch you next week, Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, pwfempire.com. Hopefully we'll see you there. Peace out.